Welcome to Communing with Divine, a podcast where I share my spiritual quest and the lessons and the insights that I've received from many divine beings and energies during meditation. I am your host, Meraki. Now, let's begin. Hello and welcome to Communing with Divine. This episode, which is 27, is going to be a bit longer than usual, so I'm going to go ahead and just start right in. March the 19th, 2023. These are my thoughts in relation to some of the experiences that I've had, seen through the prism of what I've learned from the divine. But these are my thoughts, not communication from divine, and I want to be very clear about that. I decided to share this because I think that it may speak to some of you and even help in a small way. That's my hope anyway. If you find it useless, then just discard it, disregard it. Not everything speaks to every person. I've worked hard on my fear and I have come a long way. What is left is very small, but it is deeply embedded, and so I continue to work on it. But I take heart in that I've made huge strides in reducing its influence, and that I'm now acutely aware of its presence, even when it tries to hide or mask itself. The same goes for ego. I recognize it no matter how it tries to dress itself up. And so I can deal with these two intertwined annoyances or challenges quickly and efficiently, but it doesn't mean that they've been eradicated or that they no longer exist within me. They do. So how is it possible? How is it possible that I can have complete trust in the divine and in the universe and still hold fear within me at the same time? How can both the trust in them and the irrational fear exist simultaneously? How can ego exist alongside humility? They just do. And barring perhaps a handful of very evolved masters, I would suspect that this is just a side effect of being human. It's a part of the human condition within this particular dimension and conscious experience. I want to share a story with you that may explain how I handle fear and ego, kind of illustrate it in a real life situation. Recently, there has been someone who I love very much, and for reasons I can't explain, has held me at arm's length. I've tried a few times to find out if I said or if I did anything to upset them so that I can apologize, but they keep reassuring me that all is fine, all is well, even as they seem to still avoid and ignore me, and this has been very hurtful. But I realize that continuing to reach out to them when they clearly are not interested in connecting with me at the moment is not respectful of their free will. And so I decided to release her and release my desire or need to interact with her, to give her the freedom and the space to decide if she wants a close relationship with me, what she wants from it, and how she wants to navigate it. So considering everything I just said, in theory, I completely released her and the relationship and intended to fully respect her free will and her right to decide what she wants to do. In theory. However, very quickly I realized that my mind was searching for excuses to reach out and contact her. They were all very important and justified reasons, of course, but were they really? This is exactly what ego does, doesn't it? However, no matter how well justified and extremely important these excuses presented themselves as, they were excuses, plain and simple. And they flew in the face of my commitment to giving her space and freedom and to respect her free will to make the decision that was best for her about our relationship and our interactions. I wanted to take a look at these justified excuses that were jumbling around in my brain. So in order to take a step back and observe them from a bit of a distance, I decided on recording a voice message so I could listen back to it and then decide if these excuses were important enough to go back on my decision and to reach out to her. I asked for help from Divine to know what was right, and I started recording. I babbled on, and when I was done with the voice message, I noticed two things. The voice message was 7 minutes and 17 seconds long, and the time that I finished at was 8:18. I decided to look them up. 717 was basically stop, let it go, stop trying to control. You're trying to control something that you shouldn't. And 818 was things are going to change for the better. Be patient. It is all happening now. Do what you were guided to do, which is to release it. So, wow. I'll tell you what, when you ask divine or the universe for help, you will get it. And these messages were not something that I could ignore. They were pretty clear and straightforward, actually. So I thank divine. Sort of thank you for calling me out on this. But we do this, don't we? We do this a lot. We create a convenient smokescreen for ourselves to mask our real intentions or motivations. We tell ourselves that our motivation is one thing, but it's not. It's something else. And it's usually about us. It's usually an ego-based thing. It's about controlling our environment to ensure that we feel loved. We feel appreciated, special, important, safe, etc. For example, we might reach out to someone claiming that we were worried about them because we haven't heard from them in a while, when the true root motivation for reaching out is that we are feeling sad, hurt, or annoyed that we have been seemingly ignored. And I think this is a really important thing to always consider and to recognize. We need not to be afraid to see the truth within us, because even if the root motivation is selfish and based in fear, it doesn't mean that we're bad. It just means that there is work to be done. And so we must follow the fear-based feeling or thought to its beginning, its starting point, and heal ourselves. These things are roadmaps. It's a roadmap and nothing more. It's neither good nor bad. It's just information. It's information that allows us to know ourselves better and to heal our internal damage so that we can be whole again. As is often the case, this situation that I'm sharing with you was not completely straightforward. It was both ego-based and heart-based. I was using the heart-based truth of worry and concern to smokescreen the ego-based motivation, which was my need for attention and validation. So, from the point of the view of the heart, my heart-based truth is that I do love this person deeply, and she has been struggling with important life issues recently. And because of this, I wanted to help her, but even more, I wanted to give her the space that she needed. I wanted to recognize that she has the right to figure these things out for herself if that is her choice, even if it means that I miss her or that I feel sad because of the separation or because of the silence. These things all come from a higher part of me. This is the higher part of me saying she is the most important in this situation, not you. Let go. Respect her space. Respect her process. Respect her free will. But the ego is still there. That's the part that's caught up in the hurt and in the pouting. That's the part that feels overlooked, unimportant, and unloved. It's the part that craves love and validation but looks for all these things outside of self. It's all like, but what about me? Me. This is not heart-based. This is not part of my highest vibrating self. This is ego, plain and simple. And my ego developed from a desire to protect the little child that was me, who felt lonely and who was raised in an environment of conditional love, which I discussed in an earlier episode and explained it is not love, it's actually abuse. A little girl who was judged and rejected and was always found wanting, who was told that she was not good enough, that her voice didn't matter, that she should not be heard. And so she was not given the time or the right to speak her truth. And when she did get her truth out, she was told that it was invalid. From this, a voice with emotions and thoughts and ideas arose with the intent of protecting this fragile child. Unfortunately, this voice was ego, and for all of its supposed good intention, it causes more harm than good. Ego springs from fear in all of its forms and manifestations. And so by its very nature, it is a fear-based consciousness that churns out feelings, thoughts, and emotions that are not of a high vibration. It is often also a combination of a voice of derision from other people and of false truths about ourselves. Fear causes all the suffering that we experience in this reality, and ego is born from fear. Ego then perpetuates the suffering of ourselves and of others through its deceptive ways and by leading us down false paths when we try to heal ourselves. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy, but very effective. They self-perpetuate with amazing efficiency, and most of the time we are blind to their modes of operation and various tactics. Let's face it, being here, being human, is hard. Navigating the damage that other people did to us as children is one of the ultimate challenges that we face. Honestly understanding, truthfully understanding what is happening within us and why we are reacting to certain things in certain ways is hard because we've spent so much time believing the delusions of our ego, which is being directed by our fear. I suppose in some ways the ego isn't a bad thing, it's a functional thing. It's a functional thing that allows us to recognize our quote-unquote self as such. It creates the illusion of individuality, which is not truth, but which is an integral part of this experience. And an important challenge within this experience is that, I believe, we are supposed to try to overcome the best we can this illusion of separation, this illusion of individuality. So I suppose we need the ego in a way in order to navigate this program. This program where we perceive a separateness that doesn't really exist. However, the ego appears to be quite fragile and easily damaged. I think that the fears that we face in childhood causes the ego to overdevelop. So the ego is an important tool to help us to navigate and deal with this conscious reality. However, it tends to overdevelop from trauma in childhood, and this results in an engine that is constantly in overdrive, scanning the surroundings, looking for threats, perceived or otherwise, and creating opinions and perceptions that are based almost in paranoid delusions sometimes. Because of this overdevelopment of the ego, it overemphasizes the illusion of separateness. And it does this because in order to be effective, its person, the human that it's in charge of, or it believes it's in charge of, must fully believe that they are an island to themselves, separated from the other islands around them by water, rather than being able to see that they are actually connected to one another through the common land that runs unseen underneath the water. So people must completely rely on and trust their ego and the illusion of reality that it chooses to create. They must not hear any other voice. Otherwise, the ego has no control. And a lack of control is the base or the motivating fear of the ego. And unfortunately, the ego doesn't always present the world or the choices that are for the highest good of the person that it's trying to protect. So it seems as if the ego as a tool that allows us to navigate this particular program or reality that we are experiencing is necessary and could actually be helpful. Unfortunately, it seems that its circuitry gets fried from abuse and from stress and from fear, and it begins to malfunction for almost all of us. We are living in a reality that is being created in real time by a malfunctioning ego that leans towards paranoid delusion. If you think of it that way, it might explain a few things. So we do our best to work on ourselves, to identify the ego and to follow the heart of the divine instead. We try to identify and filter out the voice of the ego and the voices of the egos of others, and follow instead our true inner voice. And finding the distinctions between the two can be our biggest challenge. I have spent a lot of time working on myself over the years. There are times where I've given up and I've been like, sort of, forget it. I work and I work and I work, and there's still more work. But after these short little wobblies, I rise up and I begin again with a new determination. I work on myself and I look at myself and I heal myself. I release and I forgive. I connect with divine. I work with divine to raise my vibrations so that I will be guided by my true self and not by my ego wrapped up as truth. But with all of the work that I've done, there's still more to do. The work is still there. The work will always be there. The only difference is that it does get easier to do. As we walk our path and as we make the efforts that we're supposed to make, as we listen and pay attention, we're able to catch things more quickly and earlier on. Not all the time, but more and more of the time. And the more that we can spot what comes from the ego and what comes from the heart of our true selves, the less chaos and drama we will create or allow into our lives. This is being human, and being human can be hard. So, having babbled on about ego and deception and the heart and truth, what was the outcome of the initial challenge that I talked about at the beginning with the person who I felt was keeping me at an arm's length? What happened after I chose not to listen to my ego? How did my situation work out? Well, I deleted my voice recording and I spent time working on myself, on my ego, and on the little hurt child within. And in the afternoon, I got a text from this person who I love so much, which was followed by a long voice message from her excitingly telling me all about the new developments in her life and sending me love. So there you go. As Divine always tells me, trust and allow. It's still March 19th, 2023, but now I'm doing my calling in and my meditative session with Divine. I'm speaking with the God Gnosis. He says that I'm doing my work and I'm doing very well, but at times I'm still allowing the emotion of sadness to linger. This sadness opens my energetic field up to influence by outside energies. Gnosis explains that there is no need. A little nudge activates that which you already hold within yourself and around yourself. Now he's actually showing me, and I can see that he's right. He says that while these fields are invisible to us, they are clearly visible to those of the energetic world, those of the spiritual world, and those of other dimensions. They can see, feel, and sometimes hear our energetic vibrations. They can sense them. And some will try to take advantage of this. So let's say I'm holding sadness in my field, or I'm holding a sense of not being worthy, or not being wanted, or not being important, or people not hearing or listening to me. All of these echoes from childhood and the vibrations of the past and of the present. If I hold these low vibrations and I don't deal with them, or release them, or transmute them into something that's positive, then I'm walking around beaming this out, emitting this energetic vibration to those of the energetic and spiritual realms who can pick it up. And he's showing me that it just takes a little nudge to activate this sadness or any lower vibrating energy into an active and full-blown state where I'm actively experiencing this feeling, these emotions. And this in turn may cause me to do or say something that triggers somebody else's emotional field, if that makes sense, and so forth and so on. So let's say that I'm holding sadness that I'm unaware of. I'm not actively aware of it. I'm not actively feeling it because it's present in a more passive way, but it is there. I'm just not engaged with it at the moment. But because it's there, it's easily triggered, and its presence makes me needy. It makes me more vulnerable. It causes me to look outside for validation, for love, for support. So now imagine that I text someone who doesn't text me back. I don't know why they don't, but because of this latent sadness, I take it personally. I think that they're being mean or unkind. We do this all the time, by the way, right? We make up stories in our heads about other people. We do this based on absolutely no information at all. We sit there and we create for ourselves in our minds what is happening with the other person, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. And these made-up stories direct our behavior. But back to the story here of me not receiving a text back, right? I don't receive the text back, so now the sadness energy is activated. So now I'm sitting in this energy in an active way, and I'm putting it out in an active way. I might then reach out to that person and say something like, "Oh, thanks for the text," or "I'm glad I mattered so much to you," or something like this, which can then trigger a lower vibrating energy within their emotional field. And then they may respond back to me negatively, which will increase my low vibration of sadness, or this may trigger another low vibrating emotion like annoyance or anger. And then one of us may treat another person outside of the two of us the same way because of what we're feeling. And we pass this on further and further. We trigger ourselves, we trigger other people trigger us, and in this way, we cultivate similar vibrations in the people around us, and it all comes from one tiny little nudge. And I'm being shown that it's all linked. We're all linked. It's like a matrix of energy. It looks like a honeycomb. And our energies fill the spaces between the connections as well as running along the connections. So I'm being shown a connection between my energetic field and this other person's energetic field, and then so forth and so on. So if I'm emanating love and light, that's what fills the space in this honeycomb. And what we emanate, what energy we vibrate with, not only affects others through our connections and interactions with them, but it also fills the space between the connections. And that space is commonly shared space. It's a communal space of our mixed energetic vibrations. We are each standing at different points of the honeycomb, and the different clusters of honeycombs connect with others. We connect and we interconnect with our energy moving along the lines of the interconnected honeycombs. And in the space in between, where the honey would be, is a reservoir of our collective energy. So if we're all giving out the energy of love, of acceptance, of non-judgment, of empathy, and we're all being present, that's the energy that fills up the space. But if we're giving off negative or sad energies, that's what fills up the space. It all starts with each of us, with one, and a choice to react or to release, to judge or to forgive, to love or to hate, to sit in fear or to heal. And what we give out into our matrix of connections is what fills that communal space. And once we pour our energies into that honeycomb, it's up to everyone else to choose how they will react. Gnosis says, fill your honeycomb with love, with understanding, with forgiveness, with non-judgment, for you know not the truth of others. He's saying that if we don't know the truth of ourselves, how can we presume to know the truth of others? He explains, if you cannot know the truth of self, how can you expect to know the truth of others? If you cannot see yourself clearly, how can you hope to see others with clarity? Know that you know not. Know that you do not see clearly. Know one thing, you must sit in love. The sages Balthazar and Melchior are speaking now. They say, this is wisdom. You know not yourself, so you cannot know others. Heed the words of Gnosis. To understand that you do not possess self-knowledge is humility. To believe that you do possess clear self-knowledge is hubris. To believe that you cannot know the truth of others is humility, and there is wisdom within it. To believe that you do is extreme hubris. Hubris is an energy of judgment. Judgment is an energy of hate. Hate is an energy of fear. You are superior to no one. None of you may judge another, for none of you see clearly. Understand this, for it is an important lesson. I am now speaking with Jesus, and Jesus says, the judgment of others is really a judgment upon yourself. The energy of the judgments you make are held within you. Think to how you feel when you are being judged, whether fairly or unfairly to your mind. To what portion of who you are does this judgment reflect? All? Some? None? It is not for you to sit in judgment. It is for you to sit in understanding, to sit in observation, to sit in love, and to sit in forgiveness. That is all. Mary Magdalene says, the journey within, the search to understand the self, the introspection that comes with it should bring wisdom and perspective, should bring love and understanding for your brethren, for those with whom you walk upon this earth. If this journey does not bring with it understanding, love, forgiveness, and empathy, then it is a journey not honestly taken. The deeper you delve within the self in truth and honesty and with openness, the more love, empathy, understanding, and forgiveness one attains for others. Despair, judgment, hatred, anger, these things are reactionary. They do not come from contemplation. They do not come from self-understanding. They come not from the understanding of others. They come from an unthinking place. They come from a place of reaction, of disturbed emotion. One cannot delve within from this place. One cannot embark on a journey of self-knowledge and embrace it honestly and bravely with purity and truth without holding empathy for your fellow man, for those who walk this earth with you, your sisters and your brothers. Look to the great masters, those who studied, those who looked within. Their journey did not lead them to condemnation and judgment. Their journey led them to understanding, forgiveness, and love, as if those around them were all helpless little children. And so they were. Give thought to those masters and understand. The wise one is speaking now. He says, what you have learned today is of great importance. What you have learned today, you already knew. What you have learned today must be applied. It can no longer live in theory within you. It must be applied always. This is crucial. The sadness in your energetic field must be transmuted, must be transformed to love, and it must be done now. Now is the time on your path. Now is the time. I was asking if he would help me, but he said no, he'll watch me. So, okay, I guess I'm going to do that myself now. I can see a lot of love within me, but I can also see dark patches of sadness and pain, the misbeliefs that I was taught about myself. I know the wise one won't help me in this, but he didn't say I couldn't call for help. So I'm going to ask all of the mighty ones, the archangels Uriel, Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel, to help me with this. The four mighty ones say they will beam their energy at me while I turn my sights and my energy to healing and clearing these things that I have found, and then together we will transmute and heal. I will put all of my will towards this. The wise one says, well done, and take note of your energetic field. Watch it, be aware of it, mind it. Keep it free of that which does not serve your highest good. Keep it free of that which does not reflect the all. I say that I will, but I also ask him for his help. I ask for his help in recognizing any change in my energetic field that I might not notice on my own. Mother Universe is explaining that she maintains the balance within the universe. She is all that is within this universe. I want to understand why there are changes in how I perceive her. Sometimes she's beautiful, and at other times she's a bit decrepit, to be honest, and I'm confused by it. She's saying that she represents the universe in its entirety. How I envision her at any given time is representative of different aspects of her, of different events, developments, and movements within the universe. She says that now that I'm growing and evolving, I'm beginning to see all that occurs within the universe through her as the symbolic representation of the universe itself. March the 21st, 2023. The goddess Alethea says, you have learned much today. You have learned, for you have seen. You have opened your eyes. You have opened your heart. You have accepted that which came to you, and you have released that which no longer serves you. You have reached a new stage of humility. You have recognized your fears. You have released these fears and given them into the care of the divine and of the universe. This brings you respite from that which dragged you down, from that which led you off course. See as you walk your path with the wise one. See how clear it is? See how you walk shoeless? See how you move quickly down your path without resistance. For there is no fear. There is only trust in all of us, in all of divine, and there is trust in Mother Universe. You have cleared this portion of your path from fear. Gnosis says, child, as your knowledge of self increases, as you discard your fears, you will realize your progress more quickly. For that which holds you back are the illusions of fear, and fear has no meaning in truth. As you discard your fears and hand yourself over to divine, the work that you have done in the energetic world will be realized more immediately on the physical plane. See, look, your path is clear. Release, surrender, and know. Sit in faith and in trust. We are here. The sages Balthazar and Melchior say, this is wisdom. Make note and take heed. The sacred feminine and the sacred masculine say, all is balance. Balance requires an unattachment from the physical realm even as you exist within it. Detachment is the ultimate balance, and balance is the ultimate trust. In order to achieve the balance, you must have the trust, the faith. Without this, balance cannot be achieved. Without it, there is, as they're speaking, I'm being shown someone who is searching, seeking, running around in a panic, grasping at things. And I'm being shown someone who's sitting in the present, accepting the present, appreciative, trusting, calm, at peace. I understand. They continue. We combine our energies and provide balance around you. Attune to the balance of the female and the male, and to the balance of the light and the darkness. Attune to the balance of all that is around you, and know that this is truth. Jesus is speaking. He says, the divine love that you seek is that of peace. It is that of quiet. It is that of balance. Divine love is quiet. Divine love has no needs of its own. Divine love sits without judgment, without impatience. Divine love waits patiently for those who seek it, who wish to find it, who wish to come home. This is divine love. Mother Universe says, quickly now you will see changes, acceleration. She's showing me bricks of fear that I built across my path. I can see myself removing them, throwing them off my path. She says, with each brick discarded, the energy can flow. Continue to release fear. Continue to release doubt. Continue to trust, to have faith. Allow the energy of the universe and the energy of the divine to flow to you, through you, and from you. All is as it should be, child. Allow and trust. Trust and allow. The wise one speaks. He says, you have taken only baby steps, and yet, now he's showing me on my path, and he says, see how far you have come with these baby steps. Steps need not be big and bold. Continue as you are. Continue, and much will be revealed, much will be realized, for the time has come. It is now being realized in the physical plane. March 28th, 2023, the goddess Aletheia says, what you have discovered today is of great importance for walking your path. She's referring to the realization that I had earlier that ego is my greatest pain body. Aletheia says, this is truth. The challenge is great, for the ego is deeply embedded within. This is your greatest challenge. This is the greatest challenge for all. This reality that you inhabit is one that appears to require recognition from others rather than recognition of self. And so you look externally for recognition, for acceptance, for love. And in the absence of recognition and in the face of criticism, The ego arises in seeming defense of the self. And yet, this is a ruse. The ego presents itself as defense of the self, but its words can cause damage, for its words are not words of love. This is truth. Be aware of this within your reality. She's showing me how the ego can use self-love and self-care as an overlay or a ruse to mask selfishness. This too can be ego. Be aware. Remain alert. Look within with truth. See with truth. She's saying that we need to be wary of the motivations of things that present as high vibrating or as love, and be sure that we're not falling into the trap of ego that can present things wrapped up in lovely packaging to distract us. She says, you must ask in truth, are the words you hear and the feelings you feel born of love? Born of neutrality? Is there justification present, or perhaps hidden beneath? Know that justification is the mark of the ego. Be aware and understand. April the 1st, 2023. Uriel is speaking. Look, see. What have you understood and experienced with the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine? For how long have they come together as one for you and encircled you with their energy of completeness? I answer that it's been happening for a while, I guess. And yet you still call them individually. It's true, I do. And what have you seen with your source self and ether self? I call them each at the same time. I acknowledge them individually. Then they stand side by side, and then they merge into a column of energy. And then their column moves to me, and I stand within it. Uriel says, they come together as one. This is so, and yet you still call them individually. These are signs, child. Do you not see? It is time. It is time to begin to roll back the divisions that you have created within your mind, divisions that do not exist in truth. It is time, child. I understand what Uriel is saying, but honestly, and I know this is silly, but I feel loyalty to these constructs and to the identities that I've attached meanings to. And so I resist releasing them. And also, there's a part of me that thinks I might hurt their feelings. Uriel looks very amused and says, and yet they do not exist. Even those to whom your thoughts now go to all of us, and to those you loved who have walked upon this earth. In the end, and always, they are part of the one, part of the all. Their separation from the all is an illusion. If you address them as one and as part of the all, there is no insult there. There is no disloyalty there. There is only recognition of the truth of what is. They are not lost within the all. Nothing is lost within the all. All exists in perfection. The glory of all is realized within the one that is all. The glory of each part expresses itself to its complete perfection within the all. Child, acceptance of this is not a rejection of a part. It is not disloyalty. It is the recognition of the perfection and the glory of that part as part of the all. Release these false constructs in your mind with appreciation and love. For all is the one, and the one is the all. You are never separated from them. You are never separated from the all. You are and always will be a part of the one, and therefore you are a part of all of them, and they are a part of you. There is no division. Does this bring you comfort? Does this bring you understanding? Does this dissolve your resistance? Do you wish to step forward on your path, or do you wish to stand where you are, holding on to the misbeliefs and mistruths that you have carried with you up to this point? The choice is yours. But heed what I say. You need this not. Heed what I say. It is a construct of your mind that does not reflect truth. Heed what I say and step forward and release that which you no longer need, that which no longer serves you. Yes, moving forward is what I want. I will release that which no longer serves me. I wish to step forward. Baby steps. I'm on my path now, and I'm stepping forward. I'll address all of those who are not going to be separated into parts in my mind. I want to thank them as they presented themselves to me in the way that I needed when I first began. I thank them and I tell them all that I love them, and now I see them joining first together and then merging with the all. And watching this is so beautiful, and it really brings a sense of peace to me. Now I find myself confused. They're emerging again from the all. They're still with me as they were before, and it seems that I will continue to connect with them and learn from them. I'm being told that the point of this was for me to be willing to acknowledge and accept that my perceptions of them were outdated in relation to my growth and for going forward. These old perceptions, as much as I really enjoyed them, would limit my growth and hold me back. Sort of like it was time to go from my pre-kindergarten up to kindergarten. It was kind of a software update, I guess. I'm still standing on my path. There is another diaphanous veil or curtain. The watcher, the wise one, is standing to the left of my path. But he's on the other side of the veil waiting for me. Because this is what I've decided. I'm putting my sandals down and I'm dropping my robe. I again stand naked and step through the diaphanous veil. There isn't much in the desert now. The sand looks different. I don't believe the sand represents fear anymore. It's something else. And the mighty ones are with me as well as the watcher. They're with me for now because all of this is very new. So they're providing support for me at this time. This new desert is quite remarkable. I can't wait to see what I will learn on this part of my path. I want to thank you all so much. I'm sorry that this ran so long, but I want to thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you will be back with me for the 28th episode. Thanks so much and have a great day.